Again, that's just one example of what our ACE community grants are doing in the community, and I really appreciate Ms. Berry and the students for coming in and sharing that with us. Now, without further ado, we do have our 2013 grants that we would like to present tonight, and Ms. Ann Acock is going to help me present tonight. As they come up, I'm going to be able to share with you a brief description of the project that that particular teacher is going to plan on using our grant money for. First, I would like to congratulate Mr. William Brown. He is from Davidson Fine Arts. Mr. Brown, you can come up. And he works with students in grades 6 through 12. The project that he has designed is called Raspberry Jam. And basically, it's an after-school program that will expose students to the Raspberry Pi, which is a whole computer on a tiny circuit board about the size of a credit card that plugs into a television and a keyboard. Students will be able to learn how to program a computer and actually get exposed to engineering such as robotics. And as we all know that we are moving into the age of technology, and that's going to be very important for our students to be able to do that. So I think that's very innovative, and I think, Mr. Brown, you're on the right track, and thank you again. Next we have Ms. Anna Adri, and I believe I have Ms. Ramona Norm that's going to accept on her behalf. Thank you. She's from Deer Chase Elementary. This program will be used in a 4th grade class. It's called European Explorers. And basically, students will examine the effects that European explorers have had on North America. She planned on doing that by having the students research information on certain explorers such as John Cabot, Vasco Balboa, Juan Ponce de Leon, and some others. The students will be able to write a blog in Edmondo, which if you have students in those grades, 4th and 5th, you know that's a computer program that parents can access and be able to actually take part, what I consider taking part in the classroom learning experience, and I think that's wonderful. The students will also have a project where they will choose an explorer of their choice and describe how that explorer has had an impact on North America. And again, we're seeing how we're innovating technology, computers into the classroom, into learning. And I think that's such an important part to do at such a young age. So thank you again for accepting that for Ms. Adri. Ms. Teresa Belcheck is from Evans Middle School. I don't believe she's here, I'm sorry. She's from Evans Middle School and representing grades 6 through 8. Her project is Colorful Ways to Start a Business, a tie-dye road rally. And here the students will be able to set up a nonprofit organization. They're going to hold a fundraising event, which in fact is a 3-mile race, I believe. Yes, a 3-mile race. They will do color, tie-dyes, t-shirts, and they're going to have to go through the process where they actually set up the business, set up the fundraising. So it's a multi-part project which will help the students not only learn how to set up a business and to run an effective business, but also hold a fundraiser, which is one of the things that is dear to heart to Junior League, so we're very familiar with that. And I think those are important skills that students need to learn, and so we think that's going to be a very inspiring project. So thank you, Ms. Belcheck. Next we have Ms. Colleen Hodell from Baker Place Elementary. She's representing a 5th grade class. Her project is called Making Work Easier. This program will introduce the STEM program. And STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math Club. And basically, it's an after-school program designed to include interdisciplinary activities that will enforce and accelerate classroom learning. Students will construct a compound machine and create a Rube Goldberg device. And I'm sure you all probably remember those devices where the machine starts at one end and does some little task, and by the end you have a little small task that's accomplished at the end. You know, whether it's a little ball that's rolling down, a pen or dominoes falling, you know, that type of thing. And if you've ever had to do one of those, it's not the easiest thing to do. It takes a lot of planning and a lot of mathematical equations and thinking. And again, I cannot stress the importance of introducing those skills at this level and at this age. And we're talking about science, math, you know, all those components of technology. And again, I want to thank you for designing a program to teach our students that. Thank you again. Mr. Dylan Bollinger, who I do not believe is here tonight. He is from Harlem High School, representing grades 9 through 12. He has a program called Stage Makeup Unit. And basically, he will use the grant to buy art supplies that will be able to teach the proper makeup application of corrective stage makeup and old age makeup. And if any of you are familiar with theater, those are two very important parts of any theatrical production. And he's going to be able to use that to show the students the correct way to do that. And as we talked about before, a lot of times in our school systems, anything dealing with art, the theatrics, and those things, and those level of curriculum are also often absent from our curriculum because of budget cuts. So this is another way to help keep that into our schools and keep that in a place where students will be able to still access that on a public level. So thank you again, and we appreciate Mr. Bollinger. Next we have Mr. Tom Crowes from Evans High School, representing grades through 9, and he has a classroom charitable program. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Yeah. And basically that project is designed for students to create glass-like pieces that form in hot water, similar to those created by Dale Chihuly, and that's spelled Chihully for all the Googles that want to Google that and look more into that. And basically it's a form of art. So the students will be creating that type of art, and that art will be displayed. And again, that's putting something back into our curriculum that often is missing. So I think that's very important, and I'm sure he will inform us of where those projects will be displayed, so we'll be able to see that for ourselves and see the great work that they're doing. Thank you, Mr. Crowe. Next we have Dr. Julie Ann Zabilski, I pronounced that right, from Baker Place Elementary, representing 3rd grade, and her project is called Grabbing Grammar with Games. Say that alliteration 5 times. And this project is designed to create centers that will include tales of grammar and parts of speech that are fun and motivating, games that help grasp grammar, parts of speech, and sentence parts, and grammar dictionaries. And this project will be shared by 7 teachers of that school and that grade level. So I think that's important that that we're going to reach a large number of students if you think about 7 teachers. And again, we're talking about grammar, parts of speech, something that's very important, and sometimes that we're not able to teach on an effective level, but she's going to be able to grab their attention and do it in a fun and innovative way. So thank you again, Dr. Zabilski. Next we have Ms. Sarah Cooks from C.T. Walker. She's representing 2nd grade, and her project is cursive writing. And this project is very dear to me. She'll be able to help teach cursive writing so that students will be able to develop proper letter formation, guided creative writing, and reading for all subject areas. Now, of course, we're all thinking in the age of emails and text messages, who use cursive writing? Well, I tell you today, I had to sign a document for someone, legally, of course. Okay, put the disclaimer out there. And I have not signed a capital S in I don't know how long. And I had to sit there and think, how do I form this? And I was embarrassed because it looked awful. So again, that's something that's not always taught in the classroom. We've heard the rumor that they may even stop teaching that altogether. So I'm excited about this because I think it still is something that's very important because we're all going to have to sign documents at some point in time. And I'm a lawyer, so I have to say from a legal perspective, it has to be a signature and not printed, for it to be legal. And I think that's something that we don't need to lose. And I think that's great that she's keeping that alive. Thank you. It's good. Next, we have Ms. Valerie Dinkins from Martinez Elementary. She's representing 1st grade. And the name of her project is What Do I Hear? 1st Grade Fluency Friends. And in this project, students will read interesting poems, stories, passages. They'll actually read them on handheld digital recorders. And this will help with their fluency, for them to be able to hear themselves and see how they are pronouncing the words and how fluent they are in their reading. The second part of it is they will take those digital recorders and give it to another friend who will also listen to it and also give feedback on how well that passage or story is being read. And I think it's just another way of giving feedback. And sometimes you like to get feedback from your peers, not just from an adult. So it might be more creative to get it from someone on your own level. And I think it's just another creative way to not only keep reading and help people with reading and students with reading, but also do it just in a fun and exciting way. So that's an interesting and very, very innovative. And we thank you for that. And again, we have Mr. HB, as I love what he's called. And we've talked about his trout project phase 2. And again, he's going to test the hypothesis of whether the trout could actually survive during the summer months. And if his hypothesis is correct, the trout that started out like this, hopefully by next year will be this, and we might have a fish fry out here next year. Congratulations, and thank you again for that. Next we have Miss Cindy Beatty from Baker Place Elementary. I don't know if she's here, but I do know we have some other teachers from Baker Place Elementary, so if someone would like to accept that on her behalf. She's representing grades 3 through 5. And her project is called 8 is a Special Number, Impacting 8 Girls at a Time. And basically this is a mentoring group. They will work together with counselors who will have a group of girls 8 at a time that will help in a reading book club to read novels and other reading passages based on women with strong female role models. And it's designed to help girls at that age who may not have those type of role models in their life, help them with self-esteem, help them to know their inner strengths and weaknesses and build on that. And I think that that's very important, especially for Junior League, as one of our goals is to focus on women and children. And I think this project combines both of those, with taking adults and taking the counselors and taking other female models in books, helping them to read, and also helping them to have that inner enthusiasm for themselves. And I think that's a great and wonderful project, and we thank her for that.
That's wonderful.
Next we have Lori Montgomery, and Madeline Evans, who's a Junior League member, is going to accept the award on her behalf. She's also from CT Walker, representing grades 6 through 8. And the name of Ms. Montgomery's project is Experiencing the Arts Through the Opera. She has a choir and drama class and a middle school class, and they will be able to learn about the arts by attending an opera. And as we know that a lot of our students don't have that opportunity to see that aspect of the arts, and I think it's very important that we expose them to that. Other areas, we do see that sometimes the movie theaters are now putting the operas at the movies, so more students and more people in general have access to it. But Ms. Montgomery has taken a step further by actually bringing that to the students and to the school. And again, I think that's important that we keep the theatrics and the arts available to our students, especially at that age. We thank you. Next we have Ms. Heather Hummel from the Columbia County Alternative School. She's representing grades 6 through 12, and her project is called Bloom Where You Are Planted, Student Garden Part 1. They will be using gardening activities to help engage students in learning and will provide diversity in math, science, and health education. The grant will be used to purchase materials to build a garden box and irrigation system. And again, we need to think about that just because someone is at an alternative school does not mean that they're not eager to learn and that they don't have the capacity to learn. And I think this is very important that we're taking a different way to use nature, to use science, to use math, and help them encourage to stay focused and to get to the next level. Notice I did say part 1. I'm presuming that there will be a part 2, and that once we get the success of this program, that we will be able to maybe have a second presentation on part 2. And I think that's very important. And also growing gardens and maybe some vegetables. We might have some vegetables to go with that fish fry. Next we have Shelley Raoul Bailey. She's representing Edmund Burke Academy. She's not able to be with us tonight, but I think I do have another teacher from Edmund Burke Academy who will, it's a high school, who will accept on her behalf. The title of her project is Theater Improvement. They will implement dramatic exercises and extensive knowledge of theater safety and vocabulary for one-act play participants. And again, this is just another way to expose children to the arts and to that, and I think that's very important. And of course, safety is always important, so not only learning about the theatrical aspect, that we're learning about the safety part. So I think that's a very important tool. I'm glad that Junior League has been able to participate in that. Next we have Ann Sturkey. I don't believe Ms. Sturkey is here with us tonight. She's from Martinez Elementary, representing 4th grade. And the title of her project is I See Improvement. And the I is like, I'm sorry.
Get it for her.
Oh, you're going to accept for her. Okay, we have someone that's going to accept on her behalf. And the title of her project is I See Improvement. And the I is like the little I on iPad. So it's really creative. And the project will incorporate the use of an iPad and digital camera in the classroom. Specific apps and software will be purchased and or downloaded to enhance learning. And I know that's a very vague description, but in her actual grant application, she was very specific in the type of applications, the type of programs, and type of software that she planned on implementing in this program. And I tell you, a lot of it focused on science and math, and just by the titles of the software, you could tell that it was going to be really engaging for the students. So she's just not getting grant money just to have an iPad for the classroom. I can honestly tell you by the description and the way that she thoughtfully planned out that it was going to be a really successful and great program, and I know the students are really going to benefit from that. So we thank her. We also have Ms. Pamela Schaefer from Abraham Mary Elementary, representing 2nd grade. She's not with us tonight, but her project is called Pop It and Lock It, Putting Learning to Music. The grant will be used to purchase and download music, lyrics, and poetry to be used in the classroom instruction to enhance reading, math, science, and social studies. And we can already tell in 2nd grade, in order to catch that attention of those students, this idea is just, out of sight and out of mind. And I could just see those 2nd graders dancing and moving to the beat, and not realizing they're also learning about lyrics and learning about music, and also learning about math and other helpful topics. And I think that's just great, especially at that age. So we thank Ms. Schaefer. We also have Ms. Teresa Bones from Westminster. I don't believe she's with us tonight either. The title of her project is Patriots Day, an historical simulation of a day in the American Revolution. And a lot of us are probably familiar with Patriots Day. I'm sure a lot of schools may observe that in various ways. But she will incorporate the grant by purchasing costumes and other items from that time period. And what students are going to have to do is they're going to have to pick a character of their choosing. You just kind of make up a character from the 18th century and come dressed as that character on Patriots Day and kind of simulate the type of things that they will be doing during that time. Also during the school, it's going to be a school-wide function. They will also have games that will be similar to the games that they played back during that time period. And so it kind of gives the students a holistic and a very hands-on idea of what life was back then. And I think that's very important from a historical perspective to help students see what happened back then and also compare it to today. So I think that's a very good project, and we thank Ms. Bowman. Next, we have Ms. Debbie Cottrell from Edinburgh Academy. And the name of her project is Computer Enrichment. The grant will be used to purchase 2 Nabi tablets and software to facilitate classroom learning. And if you all are not familiar with Nabi, it's like a kid's iPad. And it's very designed just for kids. There's also a parent section where you can, lock and control it. But it's designed for kids and for their touch, and the apps are really kid-friendly. And again, this is more than just buying a kid's iPad for the classroom. Again, the way she designed her project is very specific in the software and the type of software programs that she's interested in and using to help facilitate that learning in that classroom. And I think that's a very innovative idea. And again, it's introducing technology to kids at that young age. So thank you, Ms. Patel. We appreciate that. We also have Ms. Kathleen Murray. She's from Lakeside Middle School, grades 6 through 8. The name of her project is Hooray for Hollywood. And here, students will be able to create video projects. The students will learn through the creation of their own interactive, student-created videos thus empowering them to become architects of their own learning. So not only are they going to be creating videos, they're going to be using those videos to teach in the classroom and help facilitate their own learning. So I think that's definitely a great project, and I can just see in my mind how that would also help students with their public speaking and being able to, talk in front of large crowds and being on camera. Are any cameras here for me? I think the sooner that we learn it at a younger age, the better they will be at public speaking, which is another lost art that we need to kind of keep in the forefront. So I think, again, that's another innovative idea that has very many aspects of learning, and we thank you for that. Last but not least, we have Miss Virginia Stevens from River Ridge Elementary, 5th grade. I don't believe she's here with us tonight either. Her name of her project is Knowledge Quest, nonfiction book writing. And here the grant will be used where students will research a topic and write a nonfiction book. And the grant money will be used to help get those books bound in a high-quality format and something they will be able to have as a keepsake and maybe pass on to other, readers and generations. So we're talking about students who are actually going to write their own book, have it bound, and maybe even publish at some point in time. So again, I think that is taking learning to the next level on a very creative level, and we thank her for that. So I just want to give all of our grant and just to give y'all a quick overview, as you all know, Junior League gives out about $10,000 in grants every year. Thank you, Ms. Ann. $10,000 in grants every year. And the grants are $500 each, or maximum $500. And which means, if you do the math, that we're only able to give out 20 awards a year. And this year, I have to say that we had about 41 applications, and it was hard to kind of narrow that down to just 20. Especially when you have so many great and wonderful projects, and I wish we, could just fund all of them, but, we do have to set a limit. So I just want to tell you guys that for you to have actually received the award and come this far, that's something to be proud of, because grant writing is hard in itself, and then for us to have so many applications and have to narrow it down, that really says something about you and your dedication. And I know we have some principals who are here on behalf to help support their teachers and other teachers that are here to support. And I just want to tell you all, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing in the community. Thank you for what you're doing for our children. And thank you for just being who you are. And we're proud to be able to do this every year.
Good.
Before y'all leave, we want to get a group picture. If y'all could just give us a few minutes. And if you did not receive a check tonight, please stay and see me.